Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are going to join this session. Today we have Richa and Avinash, both are from the Microsoft FastTrack team. They are going to take us to the journey where we can discover the transformative power of autonomous agent and how it revolutionizes business process automation. So join us for an insightful session. And without killing the time further, over to you, Richa and Avinash. So please take it the stage.
Thank you, Amish. Thank you so much. Just going to share my screen and please let me know once you can see this one.
We can see now.
Awesome. First of all, hello everyone, and thank you so much for being here today. It is such a pleasure to be with you, and we are grateful that you are taking time to be with us on this weekend for learning. AI agent or agentic AI is all around in different forms and discussions. Today in this session, we shall together explore how AI and agents are revolutionizing business processes. I am Avinash Mishra, joined by my colleague Richa Jain. We are part of Dynamics 365 Fast Track group at Microsoft. Richa and I are going to split the time and talk about the major platform shift that we all are experiencing. So Copilot, we heard about it first time in 2023, and from then it is transforming continuously. And on top of all this, what Satya announced this week, quantum computing empowered by Majorano one chip. I think the real wow is yet to come. As we think about this shift in technology, we have an opportunity together to define what this is all going to look like for business transformation. And that is what we solve every day to realize the value of investment from businesses, right? Now, as we consider how AI can accelerate these goals, this is not just about fitting AI into existing processes. It is about reimagining those processes against core priorities such as customer satisfaction, operational efficiency, or market expansion. Just remember, AI isn't a silver bullet, it's a catalyst. And to that point, we at Microsoft believe that AI can be that catalyst for your business to help accelerate time to value. AI can reshape your business process through process automation and optimizations. And AI can accelerate the ability to innovate through empowering your R&D, product and engineering teams with access to deeper knowledge and insights, analyzing market trends, or even having the tools they use to self-learn and continuously improve. So, how do I look at Copilot? What are its primary pillars? Let's try to break and understand. First of all, the buzzword today, Gen AI or generative AI, right? It is all about creating contents of different forms, depending on various advanced models through mining tons of knowledge and data. However, when these contents are fragmented or non-contextual are incomplete, that brings us to a need of a contextual AI to solve a particular business problem or achieve a goal. And that can also act autonomously, what can be named as AI agents or agentic AI. For an example, like planner agent, who can help us put together a plan, service agent, who can assist in expediting improved service requests for a business. So when we have generative AI, data modeling and all, we have contextual AI. Now what is next? Next is even an autonomous agent from time to time would need human intervention. And it will need an user interface for that. And that is UI for interaction is Copilot. So when we put together all of these into box, it comes as Copilot is the UI for AI. Copilot backed by agents, supported by generative AI models, connected to knowledge sources, gives us tool to achieve more. Right? Now, with this understanding, when we are bringing Copilot to businesses, Microsoft provides comprehensive development tools and support for building and managing agents, ensuring that they are secure and compliant with Microsoft's commitment to responsible AI. Configuration and customization, we all know, plays a vital role for organizations aiming to implement AI solutions. When you customize Copilot with agents and use plugins and connectors to extend Copilot's skills and knowledge, you are taking advantage of the entire Microsoft's ecosystem to extend the reach of your apps, service, and data. So when we glance at the ecosystem, what I'm presenting here in this slide, at the Azure platform level, we find Microsoft provides multiple services, SDK supports, and connectors for organizations to build their own AI solutions. A little above in the diagram in middle, Microsoft Copilot Studio, built on top of these Azure services, is end-to-end low-code AI platform that allows to extend Microsoft Copilot or build your own agents using generative AI and large language models. It offers features like conversational orchestration, integration with existing CRMs, and the ability to create custom prompts and plugins. The Power Platform current capabilities and everyday evolving features are strengthening the community to build more and build easy. When I was looking at the agenda for today, and I saw the learned speakers are going to deliver talks on topics such as building Gen AI app, infusing AI into the app, AI for next generation solutions. I'm sure these sessions are going to be enriching and guide how to customize and build Copilot for your businesses. So moving a little ahead, we understood agents, but how about autonomous agents? How are they different? Autonomous agents are AI agents designed to perform tasks independently without human intervention. They are integrated into various business processes to enhance efficiency and productivity. Autonomous agents are being used to reinvent business processes by automating tasks and providing AI driven insights. Autonomous agents can be integrated with Copilot Studio to create custom AI driven workflows. For example, autonomous agents are a combination of Power Automate flows and Copilot Studio, triggered by external events like file creation or email reception. Right? Lastly, autonomous agents alongside humans to enhance productivity and decision making. For an example, in Dynamics 365 customer service or Dynamics 365 contact center, autonomous agents are being introduced to automate key tasks throughout the case lifecycle, such as creation, resolution, follow up, or even closure. And these agents help reduce handle time and elevate the burden on service representatives. So, new autonomous agents enable customers to move from legacy line of business applications to AI first business process. And we just have to think these agents as the new apps for the AI powered era, which will perform a specific business purpose, functions, and so and so. These agents are designed to help every sales, service, finance, supply chain, all of these teams to drive business value. Agents will give customers the competitive advantage they need to future proof their organization. And when you look at this slide, in a very short span of time, we introduced multiple autonomous agents in Dynamics 365. We tried to list majority of them across apps, but yeah, this journey is continuous. So this was in October 2024. Moving on, as we just talked about in the beginning of the session, learning is a continuous process. We even attend and present in these boot camps and event like this today to keep learning. Same is true for autonomous AI as well. Learning loop for AI for service is really interesting. We all understand the manual process for updating solution resolutions lead to outdated sources and service representatives locked in data silos from its valuable insights. In service industry today, companies are busy trying to improve their self-service and assisted service. Although conversational AI bots and generative AI features provide a boost on handling conversations with customers, we know the quality of those interactions are heavily dependent on the quality of the knowledge sources. There is also the problem of stale knowledge content. When a human expert solves these issues, the knowledge is still trapped in emails, chats, transcripts, etc., and don't make it to central knowledge system. They are too hard to maintain, so valuable knowledge gets lost. Primary reason for these are manual creation, updates, and retirement of knowledge articles performed today. With autonomous AI learning loops, it stresses on the continuous process where AI systems learn and improve from their own interaction and outcomes. The AI feedback loop involves collecting feedback from AI outputs, analyze it, and use it to refine the process. The process ensures that AI systems continuously improve their accuracy and effectiveness in handling service tasks. Finally, the outcome is up-to-date solution that enhance self-service and human-assisted scenarios, allowing companies to solve customer issues with significant improvement in efficiency. Okay, we learned about AI agents. Now let's look at some of the available agents. And to start with, the service agent. The case management agent, first of all, what the agent is doing is orchestrating task-specific agents throughout the case lifecycle. Like we talked about create, update, resolution, follow-up, and event closure to reduce the case handle time and reduce the burden on the service agent. So I'm going to go through a quick demo video and we'll understand this case management agent. Please let me know if you can't hear the sound.
Copilot agents can help contact centers improve customer experiences, drive efficiency, and reduce costs. Let's see how the case management agent reduces the manual burden on service reps throughout the case lifecycle. Here, I'm a service rep, and I've been connected with a customer to resolve a new issue. Instead of having to manually create a case, I see the agent has already generated one. It identified relevant case details based on the customer's history and the transcript to auto-populate the appropriate fields. With Copilot, I'm also provided with a summary and other information to help quickly get me up to speed. And if I need a little more help, it will jumpstart collaboration with Microsoft Teams. Once I finish this chat with the customer, the agent will provide a summary and continue managing any follow-up needed for this and my other open cases. Here the next day, alerting me to an email from the customer. It proactively drafts responses, which I have the option to review and edit before they're sent. Otherwise, the agent will continue monitoring and autonomously responding as needed until I'm prompted it's time to close the case. Once I confirm, the agent automatically generates wrap-up notes, fills in the resolution details, and closes it for me.
I love this assistance from the agent in the creation and management of case by gathering information from customer conversation and guiding through the process, right? So now let's look into the other areas of the case management or service management where we know contact center face interconnected and compounding challenges to successfully and efficiently serve their customers. The customer intent agent here is designed to enhance customer service by autonomously discovering and managing customers' intent. It analyzes from past and current conversation. It creates an intent library that enhances dynamic conversations. Through a common layer across all channels, this AI agent provides symmetry across conversation, be it digital, voice, email channels, for both self-service and assisted service. And Empowering this, the next one is the customer management agent, knowledge management agent, right? So this solves the problem statement we just talked about, keeping vital knowledge base articles up to date, which we are relying on the manual process. So valuable insights from seasoned customer service representatives are locked away. We talked on this, right? In their chats, in their call recordings, in their case notes, and other data silos. This knowledge management agent harvests knowledge from human assisted cases and conversations. It drafts new or update existing knowledge articles. It creates an AI powered learning loop to autonomously solve future issues via self or assisted service. So in the next video, we are going to see all these three agents working together, and you will understand end-to-end cycle from the case understanding the intent, creating of the case, and learning from this how the knowledge management work together. So I'm going to move to the next one. So we see them working together.
Autonomous agents can help reduce the manual burden on service reps, as well as enable evergreen customer self-service and assisted service. Let's see the case management, customer intent, and customer knowledge management agents in action. I'm a senior service rep, and I've just received an escalation for a new issue. Instead of having to manually create a case, I see the case management agent has already generated one. It identified relevant case details based on the customer's history and the transcript to auto-populate the appropriate fields. With Copilot, I'm also provided with a summary and other information to help quickly get me up to speed. And if I need a little more help, it will jumpstart collaboration with Microsoft Teams. Meanwhile, while I work, the customer intent agent is continuously learning from me and our other service reps how to identify and resolve this and other complex customer issues as they arise. It discovers new intents from customer conversations across all channels by analyzing case notes, transcripts, and summaries, mapping issues to corresponding resolutions that the agent maintains in a library. In parallel, the customer knowledge management agent ensures knowledge articles are kept perpetually current, automatically identifying opportunities to update existing articles or draft new ones based on the discovered insights. The agent autonomously drafts and publishes the content. And since I have oversight, all I have to do is approve the update. And whenever I need a little help diagnosing a customer issue, Copilot will proactively surface prompts fueled by the customer intent agent, as well as the latest guidance harnessed by the customer knowledge management agent. Though for this case, I'm ready to wrap up. Once I finish the chat with the customer, the case management agent will provide a summary and continue managing any follow-up needed for this and my other open cases. Here, the next day, alerting me to an email from the customer. It proactively drafts responses, which I have the option to review and edit before they're sent. Otherwise, the agent will continue monitoring and autonomously responding as needed, until I'm prompted it's time to close the case. Once I confirm, the agent automatically generates wrap-up notes, fills in the resolution details, and closes it for me. Now, the next time a customer reaches out, our self-service tools like chatbots and IVR are ready, dynamically armed with the latest intents and knowledge content, which means fewer escalations for me.
All three agents working together and moving the case journey. This AI learning loop for service extracts intents from conversation and cases and map them to their solutions. And we harvest this knowledge for future scenarios. Leading dynamic service to customers, we can imagine how helpful it's going to be for service industry in days to come, right? So like that of service, sales process also has first party agents. And one of the most exciting one is the sales qualification agent. The sales qualification agent is to streamline the sales qualification process, making it more efficient and effective. It helps sellers to build a qualified pipeline, right, with more efficiently by combining the power of three agents here. So the first one is research agent, then prioritization agent, and then the next one is engagement agent. So what it does is the first one, the research agent, uses resources to synthesize key customer and account data, enabling sellers to decide whether to engage with a lead based on the agent generated recommendation. Whereas the prioritization agent assesses the strength of the data and signals, evaluating common criteria such as authority and budget to identify leads that are highest likelihood to close. And lastly, the engagement agent creates personalized emails to engage the lead and maximize the response rates. Let's quickly have a look at how these three agents actually is helping a seller in her day.
Meet Mona, a seller at Microsoft.
Hope it's good now.
Yes, good.
Mona is juggling a whirlwind of tasks, sourcing leads, researching prospects, personalizing outreach, following up on deals, saving at-risk opportunities, and collaborating with internal teams. It's a lot to handle, and with the constant barrage of emails, Teams messages, and meetings, it's no surprise that Mona prioritizes her work by what's on the top of her inbox, causing her to fall short of her sales targets. Now, with AI agents in Dynamics 365 Sales, Mona will focus on the work that will have the most impact in achieving her goals. Here is Mona in Dynamics 365 Sales. It doesn't matter what screen Mona is on, this dynamic Copilot UI follows her around. She sees her progress toward her overall quota, highest priority items for the screen she's on, and the most impactful actions that will move the needle across all of CRM. For instance, Copilot highlights an opportunity to close a $5 million deal today and has already set up a meeting with key stakeholders. But that's not all. Because Mona's pipeline is waning, Copilot identified her hottest leads and is automatically working to convert them into opportunities. Copilot ensures she never misses her best move to meet her goals. Take this $1 million opportunity where research and engagement agents have discovered and conversed with an inbound lead, the CTO of a datum, validating the submission is legitimate, that her needs match the product, and that she's responsive. Mona wants to know more about a datum's financial health. The research agent can add data to the summary based on a prompt and make suggestions based on what's popular in her team. In the past, this would have taken Mona hours of reading financial reports and news, but now she gets it in seconds. Confident that the agent took the right steps to get this insight, Mona customizes the agent to add this data to all future leads, making her feel empowered and more productive. Mona is ready to connect with Jain, and the engagement agent is one step ahead. It has composed a personalized email, informed by its research, for Mona to review. With Mona's approval, the agent not only emails Jain but also reminds her and follows up until a meeting is booked, something that Mona never had the time to do herself in the past. On the day of the meeting, Mona has a summary of all the critical information she needs and what topics to cover to best move the deal forward. This allows Mona to meet with Jain and have a great meeting. As Mona is working through other deals, Jain sends an email indicating that she's evaluating a competitor who is offering a discount and is looking to make a decision within 24 hours. In the past, this urgent deal-defining message would have been lost in the shuffle. Even though Mona is working on another opportunity, this urgent work item is surfaced to Mona in a Copilot UI that comes to her. The engagement agent autonomously replies to Jain, reassuring her she will have an answer by the end of the day, and reaches out to the finance team to authorize the discount. With the discount approved and the email drafted with the perfect response, all Mona needs to do is review and send. The pricing aligns with Jain's expectations, and just like that, the deal is closed. With Dynamics 365 Sales and AI agents across the entire sales process, Mona leaves behind her manual tasks, avoids falling victim to top of the inbox prioritization, and focuses on the most impactful work to blow by her targets.
So what we could see here, in the profession where time literally equals money, this agent enables seller to focus her time on the highest priority sales opportunity, reaches leads, help prioritize opportunities, and guide customer outreach with personalized email and responses. These are awesome, right? So what we could see collectively, these agents are trained to autonomously learn to address new and emerging patterns to improve the quality and help drive time cost savings.
Meet Mona.
So now uh, I hope I'm going to see many new agents published from all of us here in the days to come, right? So with this quote from Bill Gates, I invite Richa to take us forward for more valuable insights on Microsoft plan in this shift in technology that we are in. Over to you, Richa.
Thank you, Avinash. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. I'm just going to share the screen quickly. Let me know if it's visible.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Thanks, Avinash. So, one, I cannot agree more with Mr. Gates when he refers to agents being the biggest revolution that we are getting to experience since the days of Windows GUI. Now, I don't know how many of our audience here, at the risk of sounding like a fossil, I have seen this era as well of Windows GUI. So I don't know how many of you've experienced that, but definitely we are seeing a very high energy and a huge revolution in the way organizations are now approaching AI, right? As Avinash mentioned, agentic architecture is at the helm of rapid transformation that we are experiencing or observing across different industries and different functions, centered primarily around enriching employee experiences and their productivity, enhancing customer engagement with focus on more value driven conversations, bringing efficiencies in business processes as organizations continue to or start to innovate with AI assisted technologies. If I just cite the example of Copilot impact and autonomous agents within Microsoft, we continue to reshape our internal processes across these various functions. Whether with sales agents, we are seeing higher revenues per seller and a higher rate of deal closure. Similarly, for many of our HR processes, HR operations have observed much higher accuracy in addressing employees' queries, enabling our HR employees to focus on driving more value-driven initiatives for employees. From a customer support perspective, we have seen a significant improvement in case resolution times, be it legal, where we have observed reduction in regulatory spend, especially the external facing regulatory spend, right? Similarly, departments like finance, which has again helped in further, reduction of time in cash collection cases. The list continues to be endless, whether I talk of departments like even IT or marketing or any other department across Microsoft. We at Microsoft continue to lead this journey both internally and externally, and we are aggressively working to enable our ecosystem with more capabilities. Over this journey, starting past year, we have shipped over 300 plus new features, and Copilot keeps getting better with responses now more than 2 times faster on average and response satisfaction improving by nearly 3 times. Not just Microsoft, but many of our partners, be it Adobe, SAP, Jira, many of these partners are accompanying us on this exciting journey, and they are continuing to invest and build agents and connectors for Copilot. At Microsoft, we recognize our role in shaping AI technology. We have released generative AI technology with appropriate safeguards, and this has enabled us to experiment, learn, and hone cutting edge practices for developing generative AI technologies responsibly. As part of our continuous investment and direction, we have identified 6 principles that should guide AI development. Let us visit these 6 points one by one. Fairness, which basically refers to AI systems should treat all people fairly, creating opportunities for all users. Reliability and safety, which is very self-explanatory that the systems should be reliable and should behave in a manner which is expected out of them. AI systems should be secure and respect privacy. This is critical, as we all know. Most of your customers must be asking you as well. So this is something that customers should be able to define how they want to like open up data for their customers and their end users. AI systems should empower everyone, and people of all abilities should be able to use it, making it inclusive. From a transparency perspective, these systems should be understandable. And the most important aspect, there should be enough oversight built in to ensure that people can control these applications, thus leaving the accountability with people. With generative AI technologies, as you would know, that many organizations feel the urgency and pressure to protect against increasingly sophisticated attacks. At the same time, these organizations are being propelled into the age of AI with employees that are eager to use these agents to adopt AI assisted business processes. Chief Information Security Officers or CISOs and admins, they want to be confident that their data is secure as their organization harnesses the power of this technology. Copilot for Dynamics 365 and Power Platform feature follow a set of core security and privacy practices that I'm sure many of you are already familiar with. And with Copilot, it's also following the Microsoft Responsible AI standards that we just spoke of. Dynamics 365 and Power Platform data is protected by comprehensive industry-leading compliance, security, and privacy controls. Our comprehensive suite of security capabilities helps customers and their organizations to keep their enterprise data safe while leveraging the platform's AI capabilities. For customers to get the deepest protection across the breadth of these technologies, their organization is using, Copilot Studio follows a number of security and governance controls and processes, including geographic data residency, data loss prevention policies that the customers can control, multiple standards certifications, regulatory compliance, and regional customizations. Data continues to be encrypted and isolated. And as I mentioned earlier, data loss prevention policies are available for customers to set up. And responsible AI approach protects against risks like prompt injection. Customers can control who can create, share, and use these agents, and thus be able to monitor the usage of these agents, how effectively these are being used. Overall governance controls are with the customers to control the way they want and manage the entire life cycle. An important aspect that we all know today, customers want to know the deeper insights of how the data is being used or how these agents are being used. And thus, those insights are also available through the audit capabilities of these agents. Many of you must have come across questions from your customers, specifically with the advent of AI technologies in Copilot, um, uh, regarding the security of data, on how data is being exchanged between Power Platform or Dataverse and Azure OpenAI. We at Microsoft are completely conscious and aware of that need, and we are constantly updating our security FAQ to provide clarity and to basically arm you with the required knowledge on all these commonly asked questions. We also highly encourage you to refer to these links to address any queries that are coming up your way. You can also actually submit your feedback and submit more questions that may be, that may not be getting covered already as part of these FAQs. You must be thinking, why should we be caring about these aspects? Now, as our esteemed MVPs, partners, why should you care? Because this cutting edge shift promises to ignite a fresh wave of productivity and efficiency, revolutionizing how your customers interact with technology every day. And with that, it becomes even more critical for you to look at implementing Power Platform / Dataverse differently, because now It's the AI powered world, unlike the legacy world that we've been used to so far. We all understand it's not one size fits all. Um, Avinash showed a few agents, and Microsoft is continuously building agents, and they will be available for you to play around soon. But we understand that not every agent that Microsoft is releasing, the first party agent, may be fitting your customers' needs. And thus, to ensure that you understand, you have several scenarios with your customer where you need to build something of your own. You look at things in a different manner. And in our perspective, as you focus on onboarding your customers to this journey, please remember that this is not about force fitting agents into existing business processes. Re-engineering processes is an extremely critical part of this entire journey, and it's a great way for you to get into the heart of the core business in your customer's organization. You don't simply want to take what the customers currently do and just port it to an agent. Recognize that many of the current processes, the way they are working, may have been because of the constraints of the current technology in which the way they are using it. So in our opinion, this is a high level perspective of how processes should be re-engineered. Model the current state, identify the current users, current participants, and how they use the application. Document, of course, the business process workflows. Capture any compliance requirements, even more critical. As you do this, the next step obviously is to understand modeling the future state, where you relook at what would be the AI assisted AI agents or autonomous agents, and what would be the scope of human agents, right? So you reevaluate the participants and their roles. You redefine the entire workflow, considering these new roles into your perspective. Revisit the overall user experience, how the users would experience now the entire process. And please remember that as you do this, it is critical that you work along with the business, because ultimately they are the users who are going to use this new world or new way of looking at things. It is critical for them to be part of this journey for adoption of this process. As you remodel this process, our other suggestion is not to think about releasing the entire thing in one go, right? Think about doing it as an MVP, minimum viable product, or as a POC, where you identify, where one, you basically expose this new world to your customer, to a smaller group, for them to take the right amount of time, for them to experience this cultural change, and provide their feedback for you to further enhance this experience before this is rolled out to the wider organization. As you do this, you also will have the time to understand the benefits, capture those benefits, showcase the value of those benefits to the stakeholders, to your sponsors, and also take in any feedback that can further improve this experience. Remember, change management is not just about training. Change management starts from modeling the current state till the end, including the training aspects. This may involve resistance, which is like, as we know, any change invokes a little bit of resistance, and this is going to be a much different, a much larger change for customers, a completely new way of looking at things. So keep the power of change management from the start till the end. We have an exciting future ahead. And I want to reassure you that as you go on this journey, Microsoft is with you on this journey through providing education and adoption resources. There are several information that is being shared on the Learn site. There is guided journey, especially if you're working with Microsoft FastTrack or the PowerCat teams. There is guided journey from initiation through deployment, like from being a trusted advisor, and engineering-led guidance and best practices, engineering-led architecture guidance being published as best practices, through the Learn documentation as well as through FastTrack and PowerCat engagement. We are also continuing to invest on business process guidance by publishing business process catalog that includes end-to-end processes, repeatable patterns. These can be used by our esteemed partner community to organize their customers' onboarding journeys, the implementation projects that you may be working on, and the business processes. I would also highly encourage you that take the opportunity to contribute to the business process catalog so that this community initiative continues to become more and more valuable and enhanced for continued usage by the entire Power Platform community. We are excited for all of you to join this journey of learning and join this new adventure, right? We are leaving you with some of these links that you can bookmark around, for you to get started on Copilot. And with that, Avinash and I again want to thank you for taking this time to spend your weekend with us today. Thank you so much. And I'll stop sharing at this point.
Thank you, Avinash. Thank you, Richa. We do have a couple of questions. So I would also encourage the audience, like if they have any questions, they can unmute and then they can ask, or they can even put it on the chat window so I could read it without any issue. The first thing you mentioned about the responsible AI. So is that some kind of the guidelines or some artifacts provided by the fast track team so the implementation partners or the customers can follow that one? And we know much better because as you rightly said during the session, changes are not acceptable as a human being. So it's true as an individual, it's true as an organization. When I worked with the multiple organizations from the different backgrounds, they also don't accept the changes, especially when it come about the AI. Okay, where my data is going, how the data will be processed, is this in my territory, do I have a control on the data, or I don't have any control what is coming in, what is going out. And the biggest question is Microsoft is making a training or training their models on our data. So that is the biggest question what in every discussions the counterpart ask. So do we have any kind of the guidelines or some blogs, some kind of the material which partners or customers can refer it?
Yes, Ambesh. So let me first answer the responsible AI question that you asked. Um, from a responsible AI perspective, it's not just restricted to Power Platform, right? Microsoft is following these standards across the entire technology stack, right? Be it M365, be it Power Platform, be it Dataverse. We have shared the link. There is a lot of guidance that we are constantly publishing on what you can consider as you are developing these systems. So there's a lot of guidance that Microsoft is publishing, a lot of tools like Microsoft Purview that is being released to actually enable you to follow these guidelines essentially, right? So we would highly encourage you to look at the documentation. Extensive information is available for our community to look at it. The
And
second,
and
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead. And to
No,
add
no,
to
go ahead.
that point, right, Ambesh, right, and this question, as you rightly said, is coming in all different platforms, all different forums and customers as well, right? That how do Microsoft use the data? Is the model trained and all right? So already, as Richa shared, those FAQ has called out clearly, right? And one thing we need to understand, these models, like back on the days where we had to train our model based on the training data, right? If you remember, like for an example, unified routing has ISF models, right? So they have ISF where you have to input your training data and the model gets mature. And then as the data continues to go, the model used to mature. But these are LLMs, these are pre-trained models. So these models doesn't need to train on this data. If any these models will continue to keep as their version improvements, right, outside of this. That's the first point we'll all have to understand. And now talking about when the important question you asked on that, where is my data, how does this comply with my country regulations, my organization regulations, and so on and so forth, right? So if you remember this slide which I presented, this whole architecture is built on Azure services, right? So whenever we are provisioning Azure service, you have an option, be it like from development per se, if I have to go and enable Azure SQL for storage or function app for my code writing, I have an option to choose my geography or my country, right? So at at the below layer, bottom layer, we have the same Azure services, and this Copilot Studio is just a tool or the capability for us to customize and build our copilots faster and easy. So underlying it is there. And to augment that point further, when the Copilot was getting released, and we may have seen that it is available in this region, in this country, but not available in this area, in this region. What was the reason for that? Why we could not release for all the countries and all the regions in one goes? Because our own underlying Azure services were not available in that region to maintain or contain that data in that region or that geography. So as soon as Azure capabilities continue to evolve and be available in these regions, we started releasing the Copilot. So Copilot sitting on Power Platform is actually respecting all the Power Platform security model, governance model. How does that for other apps and services? Copilot is exactly similar for that, right? Hope that answers your question. Yeah, Richa, you were adding something extra.
Yeah, I think another thing that's very important, as Avinash touched upon, that we like, around the availability of Copilot in region. I recently was asked a question that can we simply say if Copilot is available, can we simply say that yes, like this is data residence? We would strongly encourage that before you answer a question to the customer, please refer to the documentation that we've shared as part of this session as well, because we are constantly providing what feature is respecting the boundaries, geo boundaries, and what feature is not. So from a data residency or privacy perspective, please ensure that you are referring to that latest documentation. It is being updated very, very frequently to ensure
Yeah.
that you have the right information at all times.
Okay, interesting. And just to follow up there, because you both are coming from the FastTrack team, we know as an implementation partner that there is a specific criteria or eligibility for any partners or any projects that you can get involved the FastTrack into that one, which is the one of the question. But if we have to convince to our customers and the partners, like not me as an individual, because I know, but for the larger audience, that what the value can be added by involving the FastTrack to your implementation journey. So if you can just provide some insight around that area.
Okay. So the first question was around qualification criteria, right? So first of all, let's talk about what FastTrack is, who FastTrack is essentially. So we are part of the Dynamics 365 engineering organization, and we are a team of solution architects who basically provide architecture advisory guidance to our customers and partners as they start an implementation, right? So the idea is to ensure, because we are part of engineering, we have access to what is being developed, what is coming up, and also we learn from patterns and practices across the various global customer engagements that we cover. So we are able to essentially help our customers and partners who are focusing on a particular scope of work to ensure that any risks that we are seeing as a third party, we are able to help you mitigate it in a manner so that your implementation is successful at the end, and you're confident about going live. So it's that's so that's what we do, and that's our value add that we bring to the table, to the implementation. We are not here to actually do any hands-on work, but we are more than happy to provide guidance on if customers and partners have questions on, am I going in the right direction? Do you think there is a better way to do it? We're absolutely available to have those conversations, brainstorming discussions with you as part of our engagement. From a criteria perspective, Ambesh, if I like, there are several models of FastTrack. So there are
Yes.
different criteria based on, so there is one is the average revenue, annual average revenue criteria on Dynamics 365 licenses. And the second aspect is the solution competency score of the implementation partner. These details are actually published on, again, public documentation. So we can share that link with you if required later. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And then maybe an individual question to both of you. Yes, because of the ND and the compliance, we cannot name the customer. But in your recent last 12-month or 18-month, especially when you worked with some of the enterprise customers, because I know we worked always with enterprise customers, did you face a very common challenges like from one customer to other customers? Yeah, resistance is could be the one of the part, but apart from that, is there any common challenges and how, as an implementation partners or as a customer, or as a user, I can overcome those issues?
You
So
want to go
Amish,
ahead?
yeah, I'll take that one, right? So I'll touch upon start from where Richa actually answered the first question. How do we actually do the value add in the implementation and all, right? Amish, remember like when we both were part of same team working
Yes.
together, we have the insights and knowledge on the projects or the engagements which we are working. So in my whole of career, I may have worked on 10, 20, 30 customers, right? But what we see here in the back end now in the engineering, right, that every customer is using the same platform and all the issues, all the problems, all the scenarios of different customers are coming to one layer, that the platform layer. And obviously when it comes, we do have that opportunity to see, okay, what is the commonality between the issues, right? What are the generic patterns of the issues? And that's how our learnings actually starts with a breath that, okay, this is, if I do this mistake, I'll end up with these issues or these problems, right? And so on and so forth. And that's what Richard's point was, that proactive guidance. Even before partners now do that design, we can foresee, okay, if they do this, these are the challenges going to happen. And we tell them, okay, that's good, it's you are going like this, but can we tweak this little bit over here so that you don't end up getting into that situation. So that is one. And now with the enterprise customers, yes, we do, as you mentioned, that we do day in, day out with our enterprise customers and all. But yeah, I'm sure you must have seen on YouTube that it's a published story. HDFC Bank, right, is already on Power Platform, and being from this country, that what's the width and dynamics of that bank and how many customers they serve on every day. Just so you know, they must be serving around uh, 240 million financial holdings. What does that mean is that if I am a customer, I have uh, association with my bank, right? So each association, like car loan, personal loan, or my credit card or savings account, will be counted as one association. So HDFC Bank is kind of having that scale because of the uh, customer base in this specific country, right? So, and that is well published in Power Platform, also HDFC Bank. If you don't have, I'll give you the URL as well. So that's one which we have seen recently, Amish.
Okay, interesting. And any final tip to our audience and later on, like people who would be watching over the YouTube channel? So any final tips from both of you?
So again, I'll go first, right? We all are architects, technical folks, right? We
Hmm.
always face a challenge when marrying business to technology. Business says that this is what I need, wherever we know that if you go that route, you will face into that problem, right? So being a technical fellow, be it architects or the tech leads in the engagement, we are the lighthouse for the engagements, right? So we don't have to shy away, even though it doesn't sound so sweet to anyone of our stakeholders. We have to probably land that message that, okay, we must not do this. So what we should not do it, that has to be prioritized and looked upon, because if we cut the corners today or tomorrow, the implementation is going to face the problem, right? So in all my these fast track role from last 7 years, I have learned this, that there is no way to cut the corners. If I don't solve it today, it's going to stand in front of me tomorrow. So as early as we solve, the less the problem amplitude it will.
No, interesting. Any tip from you, Richa?
Yeah, I think one important aspect is, again, like I'll start with what Avinash said. While most of us are technology architects, right? But the world that we are now moving towards,
Hmm.
business and technology worlds are converging. So it's really important for us to understand the business perspective as we move into this part or this new world, and make sure that we are actually not just focused on the the platform aspects, but we also try to understand what are the concepts from a domain perspective where we can bring these two together to make it actually effective for our customers. So gone are the days where we as technology leaders or architects could simply say, hey, my role is just focused on the IT side of it. Not anymore. As we are seeing with these agentic AI itself, those lines are blurring. So I would highly encourage us as technology folks to also learn a little bit more or read a little bit more on the domain side of it for us to actually add even more value than what we do today. So,
Mhm. Okay, interesting. It was really an incredible insight into revolutionize the business process automations with the autonomous agents by you, Avinash and Richa, and you, as you both come from the Microsoft Fast Track team. So thank you for enriching us at the event, and really a great insight about the Fast Track, like how this functioning, what the value can be added by the Fast Track team also. So we are really glad to know about that one. I will also post the link in the chat later on so the others can go to and then see. Okay, these are the entry criteria for the fast track, that you need a specific number of license, the revenue, and the other things what you have mentioned. So we have a proper documentation which is available on the public Microsoft sites or the website or the documentation. So I would definitely share that one, not as in just organizer, but as a user also. I'm really grateful that I heard a lot of things around this terminologies and this all this stuff. So thank you again. And then the next, I think we already have Thomas, Microsoft MVP from the Baltic Coast, and who will going to take us to the journey of elevating Power Automate, the synergy of the AI driving authoring. Again, as you mentioned, Richa and Avinash, everything more around the AI, even it's a Copilot AI, and most of the session is also around that one. So a great insight. But thank you again, both of you, to be here. And Thomas, if you are ready, then we can start with you also.
thank you,
Thank you.
Avinash, for giving us the opportunity.
We are
Thank you.
glad, we are honored
Yeah,
for
Thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
thank you.